Hi, everybody. I'm Lori Gama. Welcome to the Pathfinder podcast, where you can get inspired to start a business, or if you already own a business, to take it to the next level. And today I'd like to welcome my guest, Linda Winter. Welcome, Linda.
Thank you. I really appreciate being here.
Thank you. And I'm going to read a short introduction so everybody knows a little bit about you first.
Okay.
Linda Winter grew up in Longmont, Colorado, and came to Greeley in 1970 to go to Highland Hills Beauty Academy. She had a blind date with a farmer from Eaton, and 53 years later, they are still having fun. We call him the farmer with a flair. She has a daughter, a son, their spouses, and 5 grandchildren, ages 12 through 27. In 1997, she created Accessories with a Flair and Hair, which is a boutique, hair salon, makeup studio, and wig center in downtown Greeley. Her mission is to make ladies look like $1,000,000, no matter their age, their size, or style preferences. Linda believes in being involved in the community. Currently, she serves on the board of the DDA, the Greeley Philharmonic Orchestra, and the Colorado Model Railroad Museum. She believes it's about having class, about having sass, about having flair. I just love that. So, Linda, tell me about your journey into becoming an entrepreneur, a business owner. What got you started starting up your business? And you've been in business how long now?
Since 1970, because I had the hair salon first and then the boutique came later.
Cool.
Mhm.
And what gave you so was the hair salon like the impetus, the beginning of the idea for having a business?
Well, I love doing hair, but I knew there would be more that ladies need. They want to look good from head to toe. So I started with 3 pieces of jewelry, showed one of my customers, and I said, "What do you think about this?" And she said, "Well, I'll take it all." And I said, "Oh, now I'm out of business." So I got 12 pieces and now I have 4,000 pieces. But anyway, the clothes and jewelry all came together.
Nice. So you saw a need and you fulfilled it, and
Right.
you've been fulfilling it ever since, because I know I love shopping at your boutique.
Well, I used to play store as a kid. I thought that was so much fun. So I've been trying to do a store for since I was a little girl. And it all came together because I like people, I like to help them, and I want them to make them look like a model.
Awesome. And I think you succeed in doing that all the time. I've seen your ads in Greeley Lifestyle magazine, and it's really cool that you ask friends to be your model in those ads, and I've been honored to be one of those models.
You were a great model. You need to do it again.
Thank you. Well, your clothes are just so fun. Tell us about each of your services and products that you offer at Accessories with a Flair and Hair.
Well, so in the boutique, there's clothes and jewelry, hats, purses, that kind of thing. And then in the hair salon, I do people's hair by appointment. And then wigs are a huge thing. I sell like 500 wigs a year. Wigs are become a lady's best friend. It's not just for hair loss because they're ill. It's because they maybe want to change. They're traveling, all those kind of things. Plus, I sponsor Miss Rodeo Colorado, so I get a lot of the rodeo queens, and they have to have big hair.
Mm,
So I have the extensions. And
right.
then I do makeup. So I do makeovers. I go on location to do makeup for weddings and other events. And then I started my own private label skincare line. It's called Star Natural Skincare because everybody's got skin and they want to look young.
So true. That is awesome. I mean, you have done so many things just right there in that one store. And originally you were further north or south on 8th Avenue, and
So,
then you've
mhm,
been downtown Greeley
right.
for quite a few years
Yeah,
now.
since 97 is when I came to downtown Greeley, and then, in my current location, I've been there since, 2013,
Nice.
and I have a grand piano in my lobby.
Oh, yes. That is awesome. Tell us about that grand piano because it gets some use sometimes, right?
It does. Well, that was in my family for 45 years.
Mhm.
I came from a musical family. My mother played the piano and organ and violin, and then, I was in orchestra for 7 years. I play the violin and the guitar, but I like to have different people come in. I have national artists that will come in and play my piano.
Wow.
It's beautifully kept, and I keep it in tune, and, so, yeah, I have a lot of events where I have professional people coming to play.
Nice. Don't you have an event coming up? Tell us about that date and what's gonna happen
Right.
that day.
So it's on Small Business Saturday, which is the Saturday right after Thanksgiving. We have a big event downtown Greeley where all the merchants get together. We have bingo card, and you go around to the different merchants and then hand the bingo card in. You could be put into a drawing for $1,500 worth of gift certificates from downtown. And then we have the tree lighting ceremony at night at 5:30, where there's whole Lincoln Park is filled with gorgeous lights, just like Disneyland, actually. But I have at 1 o'clock on that Saturday, I have a piano player and a guitar player, and they'll play for an hour. And they have their own entourage that will come to see them. And then the Greeley Chorale will come and visit. They always come in and they sing for me. So,
Wow, this sounds like a magical day downtown, especially in your shop.
oh yeah, well, I open both doors and it's open all day long because,
How
yeah, we
fun.
get people from all over and out of state to come to this event. So,
Wow. And speaking of which, during the rest of the year, you get shoppers that come from all over as
I
well,
do.
right?
Yeah, I have a lot of people come from Eastern Colorado, from Wyoming, from Nebraska. I have ladies that fly in from Texas and from Florida and from Chicago, and they'll come and visit me and shop
Wow.
once or twice a year.
And around the Kentucky Derby time, what
Right.
happens
So I
usually?
have tons of big derby hats and the fascinators, and people are wearing those year round now because people say, "Well, if you come to my wedding, you need a big hat,"
Huh.
or they're people are wearing lots of hats. I sell tons of hats, not just only the derby hats,
Mhm.
but sun hats too,
Yep.
Wallaroos. Yeah.
Wallaroos. Yep.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yep. I was so impressed when you shared with me recently that at the last Kentucky Derby, some ladies were going to the actual Kentucky Derby event
Hmm.
in Kentucky, and
Hmm.
they came to your shop to buy Kentucky Derby hats.
Hmm.
That's
Right. And if they don't know how to get them there, I just ship them ahead. So when they get there, the hat's waiting for
nice. Yeah. They're so beautiful too.
them.
So tell me about a time when you had faced some big challenges, like especially in the early part of your business. Can you recall any that you'd care to share? Because I think a
you
lot of
know,
business owners go through challenges over the years.
Well, what business owners have to do, you have to have a plan. You have to know your niche market. If you're selling something that nobody wants in your town or in the corresponding states, that doesn't do you any good. So you have to listen to what the people want. I never thought I couldn't have a store. This sounds crazy, but even as a kindergartner, I just waved on my dad and said, "I'm fine. I'm going to into school by myself." And
Wow.
that's kind of the way it's always been. So, you gotta have finances, though. I mean, people think that customers are gonna flock in, but if they don't know you're there, if they don't like what you have, you better have a backup of cash to get you through the tough times.
Right. So
Yeah.
true. New business owners don't know that. It took me years to learn that.
Sure.
So that's really good advice. What other things do you think, especially new business owners who are thinking of starting any type of business, should keep in mind besides those things that you've already shared?
Well, if you don't live your business, you're gonna lose your business.
Wow. Tell
Yeah.
me more.
Well, I'm open 6 days a week, and I have been for 50 years. So if you don't like it enough to wanna work at it and be out in the public, you need to be in the public. They need to see you because they're gonna buy you first. This is bad English. Then they're going to buy what you got. Meaning that, if you're not a nice person, if you're not in the community giving back, you're not gonna get people to come visit you very often.
Right. It's kind of ironic in this digital age we live in, and now with AI, it still comes down to when you want a successful business to just word of mouth and building that network, building relationships with people.
Oh, yeah. Word of mouth is everything. I mean, that's free. So, but you've gotta be out in the community, and I would say network with local people, and then they tell their friends, and they tell their friends, so it can be either good or bad, but it better be good, or
Right.
you'll be out of business.
So true. And if you love what you do, it's
Right.
it's it's bound to be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it works.
So how did you balance things when, especially when the kids were little and with 5 kids, how did you balance being on the farm, running your business, and then taking care of your children? That's like having 3 gardens all at once.
Well, I had 2 kids, actually, it's 5 grandkids now.
Oh, sorry.
But no, so my kids were little, and I started my hair salon in our house on the farm. and people thought that was crazy, but I had people come from all over the place.
Hmm.
So I did mass mailings. That was in the day back then,
Yeah.
and they got a newsletter from me every month, and then that just brought people in. I mean, they came from town, but they also came from the country. And then I went to an accessorizing program at a convention in Phoenix, and these ladies were showing people how to put their accessories together, how to accessorize their wardrobe, and light went off in my head, and I said, "I guess I'll just do that."
Hmm.
So I researched it, and that's how I started. I started by doing like 30 fashion shows a year. I still do quite a few, but I didn't have a front back then.
Mhm.
So it was in my home. My pieces were in my home with my hair salon, and then eventually I came to Greeley, and I said, I got to have a store. I have to have a storefront. So my husband goes along with everything.
He's so wonderful.
He's a pretty nice guy.
That's wonderful. So it sounds like you already knew about something called top of mind awareness way before that term was coined. You stayed in front of people by sending your newsletter out. You networked. You did your fashion shows out in the community. So you were front and center a lot of the time, and that would remind them that you existed as a business.
Right. And I think that's still important today, as you know,
Mhm.
and social media and your website, which you designed for me very nicely.
Thank
Anyway,
you.
yeah, no, you got to stay out there. Otherwise, they can't find you. They've forgotten you.
Right.
And so you want to be able to go somewhere and somebody recognizes you because you have a store or any kind of business, whatever it is.
Right.
So that's very important.
So true. Well, you've probably achieved so many different things. What comes to mind is like one of your biggest accomplishments, especially as a business owner or any other role that you play?
My biggest accomplishment would be, I don't know, I'm still in business, I guess.
That is a big accomplishment.
You know,
Congratulations.
I'm 72 and I don't plan on retiring anytime soon. I mean, it's not work to me. It's fun. It's my happy place. I can go to my store and, it's filled with music and I get all kinds of people coming to visit, and that's important to me also. And then I have my other life, which is the farm, which is great. And I don't help as much as I used to, but I can run a shovel, believe me.
I bet. I'd love to see that. Yeah, you have so many talents. That's just amazing.
I'm not sure about that. But anyway, I try. We'll just put it that way.
So, just to wrap up, I wanted to be sure that everybody watching knows about your philanthropic endeavors. I know you as being so generous with your time and money, volunteering over the years with different nonprofits. Can you share a bit about that side of your life?
Well, it started years ago. My mother did the same thing. She volunteered at the hospital in Longmont. She ran the gift shop, and my parents were always. She was a Girl Scout leader. I was a Girl Scout leader. I was a Girl Scout. All that fun stuff. And so that's always been important in our life because it's your community. It's the people you know and care about. And I like to be on boards. My husband always says, "Don't raise your hand so often." But I do because I think there's a value to it, not just to my business, but to the community, and I wanna know my kids know that that's important also. So I got to kinda pass that on to them, and now my grandkids are doing the same thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow, that's really, really great. And that is very important. I think that's why Greeley, our community here, is such a great community to live in because we keep on passing down those values to the next generation and
Right,
they run with it.
right. Oh, this is a giving community, and, how many nonprofits do we have? Way over 100, and there's a reason because there's a need,
Mm.
and the Greeley people provide what they need at all these nonprofits.
Yes, they
Mm,
sure do. They
yep,
sure do.
mhm.
Got one last question for you. So you've been in business for 50 years, and if you could go back in time with all the knowledge you have now and go back to your 1-year-old business self, what would you tell her?
Yeah, well, sometimes I feel bad because I don't have a college degree. I mean, I have a cosmetology license, but I watch everybody that, they went to college, and so that worked out. Some do what they learned in college, some don't. So I wish sometimes that I did have a college degree, and who knows, maybe I'll go to college.
Mhm.
But I probably am too independent. I might talk not very nice to some of the professors or something. So yeah, no, I need to be in charge all the time in a nice way, I hope. But, I really don't have any regrets. I've done everything I wanted, and I'm a very lucky girl. I feel like Cinderella sometimes.
That's awesome, and I think you could have the title of Professor of Retail
Yeah. Well,
easily.
I've given myself a title sometimes. I'm the CSO, which means I'm the Chief Shopping Officer.
I like that. Perfect. Linda, thank you so much for doing the podcast today. I really, really am so grateful that you came in and to share a bit about yourself. And hopefully I know that we've inspired people who watch this. So
Well,
thank
thank you
you.
for asking me. I really do appreciate it. And you're a very special business owner yourself.
Oh, thank you. Yay. Thank you. That's a wrap.